Welcome to Walking Simulator. Episode 5. We cosplay as gnomes, talk horror movies, and share our favorite horror video games.
What is up, everybody?
What is up? Welcome back.
Welcome to Walking Simulator, Halloween edition. It sounds like ass because we have beards on. I don't want this beard on anymore.
Me neither.
Okay. Pulling that down.
Just like hair in my mouth.
Pull it up. Can you pull it down your neck?
Look, I got strong chin beard.
There you go.
We had to be gnomes today.
I got hair in my mouth.
We had to be gnomes today.
Oh my god.
This is gonna be a Halloween episode.
Yes, a Halloween special. We want to talk about our Halloween traditions, even if we don't have any, because
I don't celebrate
as
it.
a kid, I didn't celebrate Halloween either, but I did on a couple occasions with like my aunts and uncles when we stayed with them.
I
and
did a
stuff.
few times when I was young. I had like this little box that was like to be Darth Vader and the head and the helmet thing, and I
Heck
lost
yeah.
like the Darth Vader mask part of it. So it's just like the head, that movie Spaceballs or whatever it's called.
When he has the giant.
It's like Star Wars, but it's like a
the
raunchy
spoof,
version.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he has like that giant thing on his head. That's what it was like. And we
That's
went from door to
incredible.
door where we used to live in our apartment, and I was like, this is so stupid. I was like, I understand why we don't celebrate Halloween, but I'm like, I just want some candy, and that'd be the end of it.
Yeah, that's fair. I remember my first Halloween costume. I don't remember how old I was, but I was at my aunt's house, my aunt and uncle's house in Boston. And I think my parents just went to like the dollar store and found like the cheapest costume they could get, because it was like a ninja costume that was just a headband and like 2 size. And they're like, yep, you're a ninja. Go do Halloween stuff. And that's about all I remember from that Halloween. And then I didn't really celebrate Halloween until like 6th grade when I was back in the States. My friends and I decided to be Star Wars characters. So I was Anakin, he was Obi-Wan.
Nice.
And then the same night I was like, I don't like this costume anymore. So I found a clown costume that my mom had and put that on for like the rest of the night and went back out trick-or-treating.
I think I still got hair in my mouth from the beard. I don't know. For me, Halloween wasn't really like, just was never a thing. Like when kids would come to our house, we just shut off all the lights and be like, we are not serving you candy. This is our candy.
You didn't even want to give kids candy?
No. We would just buy candy from the store, and that would be our Halloween.
For you guys?
Yeah. But I'm like, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, with this chair, I'm like, I would have had so much fun. I just shouldn't drive it around to people's houses.
Yeah, you could have had like the best costumes too.
They probably would have given me free.
You could have had someone like build a Transformers costume.
Oh
around,
yeah,
like,
we
a
talked
truck.
about being what I could be for Halloween.
Yeah,
The next few years, I was
had
like Gary from
SpongeBob.
from SpongeBob. Charles Xavier.
That's a good
Clearly,
one.
that's a
You
that's
could
a
be a
giveaway.
Transformer or like some sort of car. You could be like a taxi.
Any vehicle I could be.
Just build a box around you. Boom, you're a vehicle.
Paint it as a taxi.
Yeah, just get like the taxi sign and put it like right.
Bro, I could be a paper plane.
How would that work?
You just like tape big wings on the side of my chair.
Just a jet. Just taking off.
That would be so
you just
cool.
go fast and the wings are just like because they're made of paper.
I'm like, me in the chair is a costume in itself. I'm going as a disabled person.
You go as the handicap logo. Paint yourself blue.
like the Blue Man Group.
Like, are you the Blue Man Group? No, I'm the handicap logo.
Oh my
I'd be like, what? You're like, yeah, that's just my costume for this year.
Paint
That would be
myself
so
all
funny.
blue.
That would be so funny.
But
Because then you could also
imagine
be
the
an
hassle-
avatar character. So you
A
have 3
disabled
costumes in
A
one.
disabled avatar.
You could be a disabled avatar, the Blue Man Group, or the handicap logo. That's 3 in 1. You just tell people a different thing each time. You're like, yep, that's me. I'm that. Different person. What is your costume?
A
Handicap
handicap logo
logo.
is just. I couldn't imagine the struggle of washing that paint off.
You'd have to tell people, wait. And then you turn to the side and so they can see the side profile. And you're like, yeah, you see it now? You got to like paint a wheel, like the big wheel, or like get a piece of cardboard in the shape of that wheel.
Just
And
spin
like
around
stick it on the
That would be
side.
so cool.
And then you would be, that'd be it. Or if you want to go full on handicap logo, you make it all out of like cardboard and you just stick it to the side of your chair. So when you're going sideways, people just see the cardboard on the side with the logo on it.
We got this down.
Yeah.
It's not even Halloween yet, but
I mean, Halloween's on like Tuesday. So that's why I'm like, we got to
that
do
tells you I don't celebrate Halloween.
we
'cause I
got to
had
do
no
an
idea when it
episode
was.
now before Halloween comes,
Halloween.
because we'll be recording our next episode next Thursday, so we won't. It'll already be past.
Oh yeah, I went to camp.
Sorry, there's still like
I went to Camp
Like
Barnabas
beard.
last week. It's like a weekend camp.
yeah.
I have a story about that. About this kid. There was this other camper named Jeff, and this Jeff
Jeff.
had like already like one of the counselors. He was like, "That's my girlfriend." I was like,
Of course.
probably not. But he literally like the whole time. I've never had someone that can't be jealous of me. But he was like, "That guy's handsomer than me. He's gonna take her away from me." I'm like, I am not out here to steal anyone's.
I'm just trying to make friends here.
And literally all of camp, he had beef with me. He wouldn't let me talk to this person.
Oh, you were getting bullied.
I thought it was funny. Had to be one of the funniest things that's ever happened at camp.
That is a fantastic story. And this beard, bro, I'm like, this is more hair than my cat.
I feel like they just took hair.
I made a really bad joke and said these beards look like someone had white pubes and like put them on, like glued them to the mask. And that's how I feel, like I'm covered in someone else's hair.
That's just cause
Yeah, we're gonna get it on their microphones.
it's like cat hair.
We may have to
It looks
ditch
like
the
what's
beard.
already on.
Yeah, there's already some fuzz on these mics. We may have to ditch the beards and keep
But every
that.
time I go to camp, this man right here is like, Camp Vacation's better, isn't it? I'm
It
like,
is.
I can't confess nor deny.
anything related
Anything
to that
really.
subject. That's valid.
I like both camps.
To be fair, we don't have weekend camps, so
Yeah, no, y'all
and
don't.
we're not as established as Barnabas.
As Barnabas, yeah. But for what it is, Camp Acacia is pretty amazing too.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I like that I kind of like that it's smaller and not as like
Don't they have
big
like
of a camp.
500 or so campers at Barnabas at one time?
couple hundred, yeah.
A couple hundred at least. Yeah, we have like 20.
I know, but
in
that's
one
good
week.
though.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna get to know everyone there.
What sucks is that all like Camp Barnabas is like a church camp, so it's Christian, and they get a lot of churches volunteering. They will not
Yeah.
volunteer at camp since
At
we're
Camp
not.
Acacia?
Yeah, we're not a Christian affiliated camp, so churches are like heathens. We don't want to volunteer.
They're not gonna volunteer for you, probably.
Yeah, so
most
we have to
likely.
just pay everyone instead
Mhm.
of getting volunteers, and that means we have smaller staff.
Yeah,
So it's harder to get staff when nobody wants to
I think
volunteer.
I think if y'all are more established as a camp, it might get there. But I
It's
also
already getting there. We
don't mind that it's a smaller
in the
camp.
past few years, we only had like 3 cabins, and now we have 4 that are like.
So it's slowly getting
Yeah,
bigger.
it's slowly getting bigger and like slowly getting more staff. So, and the quality of staff is definitely better than it has been in the
I
past.
think it being closer to people too, like it being closer to college, at least Fayetteville in general.
Where is Barnabas?
Barnabas is,
Is
in
it in
Purdy,
Missouri?
Missouri,
Yeah,
in
it's
the
in
middle of
Missouri.
nowhere.
There's also
It's been around for a lot longer.
Aldersgate. Do you know Camp Aldersgate?
Yeah,
in
that's
Little
in
Rock.
Little Rock.
Yeah.
I used to go to that one. That has a
Did you
different
like
one,
that
but they
one?
actually have a session that's MDA. I think I liked it because there
Do
were
they?
people with my specific.
That's what I was gonna
disease.
say. They do their camps based off of disability
Exact disease.
rather than
A group of people. So like
Yeah,
deaf people, or
rather than ratios of like support need or
But whoever can go
Yeah.
to at Barnabas, it's whoever can go to camp at that time. It's not necessarily
Yeah.
diseases.
well, doesn't
It
Barnabas
is,
have it during
but-
the summer?
Yeah,
During
so
the
like
summer, they have like
my term is the wheelchair week, which is
that's
like
just what they call it.
yeah, it's most people in wheelchairs, but a lot of them
Yeah.
aren't.
Okay,
And then Camp Barnabas is just everyone of all ages. They're
that's what I
like
figured. Since
6-year-olds
it's like a
there.
weekend camp. It's
Yeah,
just
like in our cabin, there's like maybe some 10-year-olds, 16-year-olds,
what's the age range at Barnabas?
any age.
All the way up through even past
Yes.
adults,
There are people who are like
30, 40, 50?
there's some people who are like in their 60s
Oh,
or
dang.
70s.
That's cool.
And they've been going to it since it opened.
Yeah, Camp Acacia likes to do it by age and then ratio. So, except for adult camp, it's just 23 and up. Any
I like adult camp though.
and that the bad thing about I guess for you is there's less people who
Yeah,
have
it's high
your
school and up.
specific disability. It's
Yeah.
more of like just other adults,
Other
which is
people with
good.
disabilities.
which is good. Yeah,
I
and
like that too.
it's cool. You get to meet a lot of cool people.
No, I haven't met anyone with muscular or Duchenne muscular
Yeah.
dystrophy, but Camp Aldersgate ages out, so it's like you're 18.
Yeah.
You can't go to that camp anymore.
I think that if Camp Acacia wanted to do camp based off of disability, we'd have to get more people in first. So we're just like, you're the only one who has you'd be the only one at your camp because we don't know anyone else who has that disability. So
yeah,
it's like,
I mean, even at Camp Barnabas, there's a chance because there's so many people, but it's also
Yeah.
like I haven't met one person, and it's like if they had the same disease, I would know because there's too many people.
yeah,
It's like you're gonna meet a lot of people at camp and not remember any of them. You'll remember your cabin, but that's pretty much it.
yeah, that's true. Especially with like there being like a couple hundred people there.
Mm.
All right, well, let's move on. I have some other stuff I wanted to talk about. I wanted to do a little game. Remember
For
what we did
Halloween.
last week?
Yeah.
We're going to do something similar, except Halloween related.
Okay.
So, I've put together, I actually didn't put together, I looked it up online, what the top 10 horror movie franchises are.
I'm gonna be bad at this.
They are common. I will give you hints. Some of them you won't get because I didn't know either. So, we're just going to go for it and see how it goes.
I think I can name a few.
I will say this. It's not the ones that are like the most known because it's like the best ones, not the most popular, I should say.
Okay.
So, Rotten Tomato,
I feel like I can guess a few of these.
they gave a list of the top 10 best horror movie franchises. Do you want to guess anything on that list?
Conjuring.
The Conjuring universe is on the list.
I didn't know.
That's
which
number
Conjuring.
5.
I didn't know which Conjuring.
It's
episode
not
was one.
movie, it's just series. So they have like 9 films in the Conjuring universe, and so the Conjuring universe is number 9 on this list. 5, not 9. Number 5. What else do you think? Give some more guesses, and I'll start giving you hints if you don't get it. It is actually not on this list.
That tells you I don't. Know
I thought that
scary
too.
Movies.
That's only like 2 or 3. Yeah, 2 movies. So it's not really a like big.
I just didn't know
yet.
if it was a big,
It would definitely be on
like a big grossing movie.
It was for sure. It was one of the top grossing horror movies of 2020 something.
I don't know any. The Exorcist.
That's not on this list because it's trash.
I don't know.
There's one with.
Let me.
It was like a 2000s, like 2000 or 1999 to 2001 came out recently. It's about
Scream one.
Yes, that was what I'm talking about. That is number 2 on the list.
I knew Scream was up there.
Good. Yeah, that one. I'm not gonna get that one. There's one that takes place in space.
Oh.
From the 70s.
Oh,
and 80s.
what's it called? Nope.
Imagine a being from space, what would you call it?
Alien.
Yes, that's the alien.
Oh, Alien.
Yeah.
What? How
So
did
Alien
I forget
is
that?
number
I've seen
4.
most of those movies.
Yes, there's 8 of them. And
I've literally seen like
Yeah.
3 of them.
those are great horror
Those
movies.
are good horror movies for sure.
There's another one that is about a bunch of people in traps.
Saw.
Yes. Saw is number 7 on this list. There's also one about dreams, about a serial killer who goes into people's dreams and kills them.
Oh, is Freddy Krueger one?
That is the person. What's the series called?
I don't know.
What is it? A bad dream called?
A Nightmare?
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh,
So the Nightmare on Elm Street has 9 movies. Those movies are fantastic. Have you seen those?
I've never seen.
You should watch the
that-
first one.
I've never seen that movie, but I've seen it on like randomly on TV, like around
Yeah.
Halloween.
The first Nightmare on Elm Street was Johnny Depp's debut, his first movie, and it is fantastic.
Bro, if you've seen Rick and Morty, there's a character that's
Yep,
like that.
Scary Terry.
Yes, Scary Terry cracks me up. I was crying.
I'm gonna
laughing
cut
at this.
you, bitch.
He would say it after
he just
every
says
sentence.
bitch after every single time. Oh, it's so good.
Hilarious.
Okay, there's another one that is kind of similar to Alien, but there's like, who was in it? Sylvester Stallone, I think, was in it. No, that's Rambo. It's about another alien thing that stalks people in the woods. And they have like Alien versus this. And he can like turn invisible.
Predator.
Yes, so the Predator series is number
Predator
10.
counts as a horror.
Yeah, it's a horror movie. There's 7 of them.
Those movies don't scare me.
That doesn't mean they're not a horror movie. That just means they're bad. Okay, so now we need number 9 on this list.
I like Predator movies.
I
though.
don't think you'll get this 'cause I don't think you've seen it.
Again, I named more than I thought I would.
You actually got way more than I thought you would as well. This one is
The hints help.
about a kid who is astral projecting, if you know what that is. And he can
Yeah.
like walk into the like demon realm. And
Oh, dang! I know this one is on the tip of my.
it has
tongue.
the same guy from The Conjuring, the like lead detective guy who like does paranormal investigations is like the dad in this movie.
Is paranormal one.
No. But
No, I don't know this one. I'm not gonna get this one.
Insidious.
Never seen Insidious.
Never seen it. I
I've
have
heard
mixed
of it.
feelings about it. It has some really good jump scares. The like demon in this movie to me looks too much like Darth Maul to be like scary. Here's a picture. And he has like a ridiculous haircut.
Oh yeah.
So he looks really dumb in my opinion.
He does.
But some people are like, "Oh, that's so scary." And
he
they
looks
get
like
scared.
a Dollar Tree Darth Maul.
Yes, okay. You see it too. Okay, good. Okay, so we got that. We got Saw. This next one is number 6 on the list, and it's about zombies.
Not gonna get this one.
It's it's a George Romero.
I don't watch zombie movies really either.
It's a George Romero franchise. They had a parody spin-off called Shaun of the Dead based off of this series. If you've seen Shaun of the Dead.
I have not.
Also
I'm
a
not gonna
great
know
movie.
this one.
It's just George Romero's Dead. It's like the Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Land of the Dead. All of those of the dead.
I thought
movies.
the scary version of The Night Before Christmas or whatever it's called with the old man.
The scary version of The Night Before Christmas?
Ah, what's it
Oh,
called?
what are you talking about? The
What's it
Nightmare Before
called?
Christmas is the scary version of its
No,
own
no,
movie.
no. It's like an animated version.
Nightmare Before Christmas is animated.
Is that the only movie that they made that's...
Coraline?
I forgot about Coraline.
Coraline.
I was terrified of that when I was
Corpse
a kid.
Bride. What? Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes, it has to be that one. I didn't know if there
With
was
Jack Skellington.
another version.
No, that's just Jack Skellington and Sally or whatever.
I have not seen that in forever.
Yeah, it's been a
Caroline,
long
I
time.
thought was
Coraline,
so
yeah.
creepy when I was little.
That one is creepy and
The,
very weird.
the freaking sewed in eyes.
I saw some weird, like, people were like inspecting the movie and like talking about it and like theorizing about you. Do you remember? I don't know if you'll remember. There's this dude who's like her neighbor, and his skin is like blue, and he's like Russian, I think. But apparently, he's like an acrobat, like a Russian acrobat, and he has like a really wide, like round upper body and like skinny legs. But so he's blue, and people were saying that he was working in like Chernobyl or something like that, and he got like radiation poisoning, which changed the color of his skin. And I thought that
I've
was an
never heard of
interesting
that.
theory. I was like, I did not even know that was a thing.
I'm not gonna know any more on the list.
There is, I think, one more that you have to. Oh no, two more. Number 3 on the list. It's another sort of zombie-related one. If you don't know zombie movies, you're not gonna know Evil Dead.
Nope, never seen it.
It's very, very good. It was Sam Raimi who directed the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. That's the same director.
That made this movie?
Yes.
That's interesting.
And he does a lot of other ones. He did, I think, one called like Drag Me to Hell. And he made all these Evil Dead movies that were pretty garbage. The first one's really good, but it had a budget of like a couple $1,000s. So, yeah, not a very good budget. And then the first one on the series, which surprised me, which I didn't know, you're probably not going to know, is any of the Hannibal Lecter movies.
Again, it's like I hear
Yes.
of it, but I've never seen it.
I didn't think that like Silence of the Lamb and like those kind of movies, I didn't know there were 5. I thought the Silence of the Lamb was just its own thing. But apparently, there's a whole series. Let's see, Manhunter? Something.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, Silence of the Lambs. There's just a bunch of like other movies that just happen to be related in like that universe, which is weird. But anyways, that's number 1 on the list, which I feel like is not very scary.
Not many people are gonna know.
But the other ones, what do you think of like the other? Have you seen any of like the big horror movies like Halloween and like Friday the 13th? Those are like the 2 main ones that everyone talks about.
I have not seen any of those.
That's
when I
'cause
tell you, like,
they are trash.
I'm so limited, and especially just anything that's scary. Like, I would say I'm a wimp when it comes to that. Like, I don't watch scary movies. I don't like zombie movies.
I am a horror connoisseur.
And my friends are always like, you're afraid to watch movies like that, but they're like, you literally watch anime that's scarier than this.
That is true.
There are
But
scarier
that's also
animes.
animated.
I know. It's not going to be as scary as
It's different.
a jump scare.
Also, a jump scare is different than like being afraid of like gore, because like
I'm not afraid of gore.
exactly.
I just don't. Halloween movies is just not my thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I've never been like scared or creeped out. It's just like I prefer to not be scared at much.
That's fair. It doesn't scare me, so I watch it for the
But
fun.
I think Halloween is a fun idea. We just never celebrated it when I was growing up.
Yeah.
I think it's Halloween is definitely, I feel like, more for adults. If that makes sense, I feel like it is. If you're in the party scene, if that makes sense.
If you're going to Halloween parties with your
Parties.
friends, house parties, or like going to the clubs.
I think that's when Halloween can be fun. But I've never done that on Halloween. I've never actually gone out somewhere on
I
Halloween.
went to C4, which is a nightclub here in Fayetteville.
Ever heard of it?
It's 18 and up, and they have a Halloween party every year, but I only went one time, and it was so packed. Like, the line was so long.
What are y'all doing this Halloween?
I don't know. I think we are going to go see Five Nights at Freddy's on Tuesday.
Ah, yeah, I've heard that. what's the actor's name?
Josh Hutcherson.
Yes, he plays in.
Apparently,
Hunger
Markiplier
Games.
is not in Five Nights at Freddy's.
No,
I know, he declined it. He was like, I got other things to do.
Like what?
Exactly. I think he's
What
making
is he
his
doing?
own show or series or something. But anyways, oh yeah, I wanted to talk about. Have you played any like horror, like video games, or do you just stick to the classics? Because I've played a
Name
couple.
some.
There's like a
They're not horror games,
like
but
Silent Hill.
in a sense, they are scary.
Silent Hill would be one that is pretty good and scary.
There used to be the Slender Man game we'd play on
I
the
played that
computer
so much.
when I was younger.
Have you played Slender: The Arrival?
No,
It's
that creeped me out.
that game is terrifying. They have a new version that's different from the 8 pages. It includes the 8 pages, but you like start off in a car crash and you walk to this house and like find
I did play.
some stuff. It's weird.
I did play through. I'm going blank. It's a zombie game.
Resident Evil?
And it's the daughter.
Dead by Daylight. Oh, I know what you're talking about. The Last of Us.
Yes.
Have you seen the
I
HBO
played
series?
I played. I want it.
It's
I
so
don't
good.
have HBO Max,
I
so
don't either, but I did, and I watched it.
I might through my Hulu actually. I think I do actually. I might be able to watch that on Hulu.
It's so good.
I heard and I've seen the previews and then the game, and I was like, this is so close.
It's so close. It's
to
so
the
good.
actual game.
It's an incredible series. And you
Oh
should
my gosh,
definitely
I
watch
remember
it.
when that came out. People were being so mean to that girl because they were like,
Bella Ramsey, who played.
yeah, they were like, she ugly. I'm like, the girl in the video game is a child, you weirdos.
Yeah, I feel like it's not fair to say she's ugly.
I know.
She's a kid. Like
she's a good actor, though.
she's a great actor. You know she's British?
I did know that.
That surprised me. She has a great American accent.
I don't.
Probably
My thing is,
studied
I
a
don't
lot.
understand how they get. There is like people who know how to do accents, kind of, and then there are people who are trained for months how to speak in our accent. So it's like she could go from American to British
Yeah, I feel like
easily.
from what I've seen, British people are superior at doing an American accent than Americans
Than
are at
Amer-
doing a British accent.
We're garbage at British accents.
There's probably
It's because
some
we
people
don't
who
know
are
all the
good.
slang. There is slang in.
Yeah.
in-
Some people are actually good at it, but it's very, very few.
but they're not good at the slang, so it doesn't really sound like.
They just do like the proper posh British, not like the people on the street British. Not the
I
ghetto.
cannot understand when I watch those people on TikTok. I'm like, what are they saying?
I watched a guy today talk about something to do with soccer, and he had the weirdest accent I've ever heard, and I was like, I don't know what he just said, but it was English, and I had no idea what he was talking about.
There's some people like
was
that
like,
in America.
bro.
They're like so southern or have such a strong accent. You can't.
Like Boomhauer from King of the Hill.
I like King of the Hill.
I love that show. He's like, hey, I don't know, I'm not, goddamn, and you're like, sir, what are you saying?
It's kind of like I used to watch this cartoon. It's Chowder,
Oh yeah, I've
and
heard
there's
Chowder.
Rada Rada Rada. That guy. I love that show so much.
But back to Halloween video games. So you played The Last of Us. Did you play any of the Resident Evil games?
I played some of Resident Evil 4.
Okay, I never.
Those
I
are
saw
creepy.
Some playthroughs, and I was like, that actually looks cool.
That is creepy.
They made
If you play some of
Dead by Daylight.
the
is another
scariest
one.
thing, I don't know what it is, but like Tomb Raider is very scary. The new ones, because you'll randomly walking through the woods and a bear will jump out at you, or if,
How is Tomb Raider scary?
I don't know, it just scared the crap. Because I'd be randomly running through the woods and a freaking thing would come out and attack me out of nowhere.
That is.
That's about the
incredible.
scariest thing I've experienced in video games.
You haven't played the game Soma.
Nope, I haven't played any horror
That-
games.
Game is the scariest game I've ever played in my life.
What is it? What's in it? Is it just like a scary?
So you're this person who goes to this doctor's office to get like an operation done, and you wake up and everything in the office is like abandoned, and you make your way through this facility, and you have to avoid these weird like creatures that look like weird blobs. It's
How is that creepy?
when you play the game and you have to like escape them while they're like doing a certain like movement pattern, and you have to like creep around, and then they'll like charge at you and you have to hide, and then they'll like do stuff, and you can also like touch these weird tentacle things and get like knowledge. It's so random, but it's a great video game.
I think I'm playing Ghostwire Tokyo. It's on PlayStation, and all the enemies, besides the really strong ones, have like some type of like mask, like Japanese mask. I think
Like an Oni mask?
Yeah, and then the weaker characters look like Slenderman. There's this one girl, and they can throw like these. It's supposed to be like a ghost. You're supposed to be like a ghost. His soul, he finds a way in your body, and you have like these crazy like powers, and it's really it's creepier than people think. So there's this one creature, and it has no face. It's like Slenderman,
Yeah.
but it has the body of a snake, and it can like go into the ground and like swims at you. It's weird. It's super weird.
That is kind of creepy.
That is the creepiest thing I've seen in there, and apparently there are creepier Slenderman like things in there. I feel like that game that gave up, and they're like, we don't know how to make these. We don't have time to make these people look like demons, so we're just gonna make them look like Slenderman. They all have suits and dresses, like really, they're like really nicely dressed. It's really creepy.
That is creepy.
It's not a horror game though, but I feel like it would be counted
scary.
as one.
I feel like, what do you think about like platformers? Do you think those could be scary?
I don't know. I've never played.
So there's this game called Inside, and
There's this creepy game like that, and it's called Limbo.
it's the same people who created Limbo made Inside.
They did?
Yes,
I haven't heard
but
of
it's
that.
newer. It's the same exact
I
mechanism.
loved Limbo.
You would love Inside. You're this kid who's in like this weird dystopian world, and you're being chased by these bad guys who are trying to kidnap you and like turn you into like a clone or something like that. But you can use your like mind powers to control these other like clone people. And you just solve puzzles. It's like a puzzle.
I'm trying to remember this
platformer.
other game I played, and it was these creepy, distorted humans, and it was like a platformer. But they would like chase you through rooms, and you have to make your way through these rooms without getting caught. And it was like these creepy, deformed humans. It was so terrifying.
Is it like Little Nightmares?
I think I'd have to look
Little
it up. I
Nightmares
don't
2?
remember what it's called.
Little Nightmares is like you're a kid with like a raincoat, and it's like a platformer.
Yes, that is creepy.
I love that game so much.
I like that game, but it creeps me.
I have it on my Switch, and it is.
That game's creepy.
I played it enough that like I could kind of speedrun some of the levels, but the bosses are insane.
I feel like
There's like a
Limbo had some
hunter.
bosses that were kind of difficult, but the game wasn't really difficult. It was just fun. Like me and
It's
my
more
friend,
of like solving puzzles.
yeah,
and
me
trying to
and my
get through
friend
levels.
took turns
Yeah,
playing that, but that was creepy.
I watched the Game Grumps play Inside, and that is like one of the funniest playthroughs that I've ever seen for that game. And I was like, after I saw them play through it, I was like, I need to play this myself.
I love watching. That's the only thing I really like watching is other people playing horror games because it is the funniest thing.
True. I wasn't ever a fan of like watching people play FNAF though.
No, I got out of that
Yeah.
after I was
I
like
did.
12.
My friend,
I was a teenager.
one of my friends was friends with another person who was like a streamer, and she would stream anything like horror games mostly. And she was streaming FNAF one time, and her donation sound was like a scream.
Oh no.
And I was like, I'm gonna mess with her by donating $1 at the right amount, like the right time, and like I jump scared her so bad that she was like about to do something really scary,
It's
and
just
then it
like
was
a
like yeah, and she like jumped, and she was like, "Who did that?" Like she was so scared, and I was like typing in her chat. I was like laughing so hard because it was so funny, and she didn't really have like a ton of viewers, but she had enough where she was like constantly interacting with the chat and my friends and stuff, and it was hilarious. And then I think she ended up having a kid and couldn't stream anymore because she had to take care of her kid.
Boo. No.
Yeah, I'm like, well, that's lame.
I
But
need to stream more games like that.
yeah,
Like just small games that aren't like well known, but they're like horror games. Cause
that's how I feel. If you stream bigger games, you're not gonna get any viewers, but you'll get the niche.
I know.
You'll get the niche audience if you stream smaller
If
games.
you play the bigger games, no one really watches. Like every time I stream, it's like a few people. It's like it's not enough to have a conversation in
I get
chat,
like
but I
two
want to.
people, and it's usually my friend.
Yeah, yeah, it's normally my friend.
But if you
watching.
just keep doing it, eventually something might, like, people might come.
I just
who
know a
knows?
horror game would be funny for people because I would be more terrified than most of these people. I would
Yeah.
be screaming.
For sure. We are back to this segment. We could talk about some movies that are like Halloween/horror, but not scary. So some things that you might enjoy, you know?
I liked there are some quite a few zombie movies that I like that aren't necessarily horror, but it would be in the. There's some on Netflix. I've seen World War Z before.
That's a good one with, is that Brad Pitt?
I think so.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What else?
You should watch Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead is a comedy. It's not scary. It's just zombies.
I think the only ones the haunted house movies,
Oh, like the one that came out recently?
the raunchy ones.
Or like Scary Movie.
Oh, it's called Scary Movie. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So the
Scary
haunted house
Movie?
one is Scary Movie 2, where they're in the haunted house. And
Oh
he's
yeah.
like, "Take my strong hand."
No, I've seen all.
That
The
was
scary-
so good.
The scary movies are so raunchy. I don't even want to say
Yeah.
what happened in one of the movies.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I've seen all of them. I like the first one because it's parodying Scream, and the Scream movies. Also, the Scream movies are a good one that's not really scary, but they're just a good. Like the first one is a good movie just in general.
I'm not. They don't scare me as much as they do just make me cry laughing.
I know.
And
I
then
know.
some of like the scenes are so dirty,
they're so bad and
bad.
they're so
I'm just like,
dumb,
what is happening?
but they're also just hilarious.
I think
Scary Movie 2 is
the one
of
with
my
Mac
favorite.
Miller is my favorite.
Which one is he in?
Is it the first one?
It might be
or
the
second
third one. The second one was the haunted house one.
The
That
third
was
one
whole
was-
episode. The third one parodied, I think, what's that one? Signs, where they're on the farm.
No, Mac Miller has to be in the first one. Then I would have to look it up,
He
but
might be in the first one because they
that-
parodied Scream.
they were in
first
the
one.
woods,
In the woods?
like walking around.
I don't remember.
I don't
which one
remember
that
who
one
was
is.
with him. Anyway, those movies, I really like those movies because they're just funny.
He was in Scary Movie 5.
There were that many? I've only seen 3 of them.
You've seen the fifth one,
I
apparently.
thought I've seen all of them.
What is
I
it?
just don't remember.
Snoop Dogg was in that one too.
Oh my god, I can't remember. I haven't seen those.
DeAndre?
I haven't seen those in a minute.
That's funny though. Yeah, that was in 2013. Lindsay Lohan was in that one too.
No, I haven't seen that one.
What is that one even about?
I don't even remember. I just know they're raunchier. There's like ones that are the real raunchy.
Oh,
ones.
it's like the paranormal, one of the paranormal ones where it's like a demon possession type thing. Those movies are hilarious.
But what else? That's about. I gotta say that's like probably the extent of my.
What about, you like thrillers? like ones that aren't supposed to be horror movies, but they're just like exciting.
Nope.
Like there's one called House at the End of the Street, and it has what's her name, Jennifer Lawrence in it, and she's like a new kid at this high school, and she meets this dude who is like a psychopath, but like nobody knows that he's a psychopath.
These scary movies I watched were like the one with Jennifer Lopez, where it's like it's scary in the sense of it's a creepy stalker man.
Yeah.
And the man like abducts them or something.
Yeah.
What is that one with Jennifer Lopez? It's such a good movie though. It's like this man, basically this man is like a corrupt like agent or a corrupt cop or something, and he like basically just is abusive and stalkery and stuff, and then she literally beats his ass at the end. I love those movies. I've seen that. I don't remember what it's called.
Is it like a series of movies or is it just like a one-off?
I think no, there's just one of them.
Okay.
And then there's movies like Taken, obviously. Really scary in the sense of this could happen in real life.
Yeah.
That's the only scary movies I've seen. And I feel like those are way more traumatizing than...
You should watch the movie It Follows. It's advertised as a horror movie, but it's not really that scary. It's about this person. So this is going to sound really bad, but it's this person who gets, like, someone keeps following them, but they don't know. Like, it's not like one person. It's like an entity that is like takes over the body of a person, and the only way to stop it from following you and killing you is to have sex with someone else.
That's like what keeps... Hey.
So throughout the whole movie, one
taken over
person is like getting followed by this thing. They're like, it just is always following them. Just always like walking down the road towards them. So they look out their window. There's just someone coming towards their house, and it could be like a dude. It could be like there's a one point where it's like a 7-foot tall guy who's like in the hallway of their house, and it's like
have sex or you're gonna die.
Exactly, and so they have to like kill the being at the end. But at one point, also nobody except the person who has the like who it's following, that the only person who can see it. So all the other people who are like her friends don't know it's there. So there's like this really awesome scene where they're like at the beach, and there's person's like screaming, and like there's like a chair being thrown because the being is like trying to kill them, and they like throw a towel over the where the person is, and it's just like a floating towel, and they're like hitting it with stuff trying to like beat it, and then they have to like get it into the pool and like electrocute it.
What is that movie that came out where like the sand, like the actual sand on this beach was like some weird entity, like if they stepped on the sand it would literally like rip their limbs apart?
I have no idea. That sounds
You haven't heard of that?
No, that sounds awful.
Literally these group of teenagers or college students.
Sharknado. I don't know.
I've seen Sharknado.
It's not good.
Sharknado is garbage.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
But that's what makes it good.
Yeah, true.
But anyway, it's these group of people, and they're on the beach, and the sand is like weird. The sand like so it has like
sand. That's it.
That's literally what the movie is. So this guy is in like, so if you're anywhere near the sand, it can like break through any material, and pretty much there was this fat guy in the trash can because he thought it wouldn't get to him, and this thing went through the trash can, and it just like was ripping him apart, and he died. That was like the basis of the movie. I'm like, this is a trash movie.
Oh, there's worse. Have you heard of the movie called Rubber?
Please don't tell me.
It's about a sentient tire.
No, that's stupid.
It just rolls.
That's not scary.
It just rolls around, and then it jumps on people and like kills them. It's so bad.
You couldn't come up with anything. The sand had to be what killed him. That's not interesting at all.
A car tire that's sentient is the worst villain ever. I watched part of this movie, and it's factually just a tire rolling through like the desert.
How does it kill people though?
It just
Boing.
yeah,
Dead.
exactly. It like crushes their skull with its. Tires are pretty heavy.
I know, but I don't feel like. Is this like a big car tire?
Yeah, it's like a regular car tire. Like something maybe like an
I would
SUV.
understand if it was like. No, I wouldn't.
Like a monster truck tire that just
No,
rolls over
just
people.
no tire.
It's an actual tire.
It wouldn't matter.
It's the whole wheel with the rim and everything.
Couldn't have been a giant tire.
No, it's literally the worst plot ever, and I don't know why that movie was ever made.
Is it terrible? The quality has to be terrible.
No, it's
right?
actually shot pretty well.
A tire.
For that. No, okay, so there's worse movies out there that are like bad and shot bad.
You know what'd be creepy?
What? Sentient wheelchair.
A wheelchair just chasing you.
With you in
But
it.
what if I'm in it? I would be the murderer.
You're like, I promise it was the wheelchair, not me.
It's like one of those. It's like Black Mirror where freaking Hannah Montana's mind is in a freaking
Miley Cyrus.
Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana. Hey, that's who she was to me.
She's like
before.
in the AI.
In the AI robot. Yeah,
Robot
Miley
thing.
Cyrus is in the AI robot, and I thought that was so weird. I'm like, what if like
You were
some
in the
being
wheelchair.
just took over my chair and was just controlling it and just murdering people? That would be a good horror film.
It
Or just
wouldn't.
me
It would rank.
being some creepy creature.
It would rank on the amount of terrible that rubber is. I'm telling you that right now.
It would be an
not
awful movie.
good.
But it'd be better than the rubber tire.
Also, there's a movie called Birdemic, Shock and Terror. It's about birds that try and kill people. Except there was no budget, really. It was just a guy, and it looks like he used, like, Microsoft Paint to animate the birds. Like, it's
Some horror birds.
so bad. The actors were, like, trying to hit the birds out of the air with, like, clothes hangers. Like, they're standing outside going, and these, like, birds going, like,
What the?
caw, 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 caw. The guy actually made up people to be on his crew. Like, he just wrote, like, typed names out and made up people in the credits. There was like 5 people who actually helped him make this movie. The first hour of this film is following someone going to work and getting gas.
Oh,
It's so boring. I don't even know why they did that.
another movie that I can think of is The Quiet Place.
I love A Quiet Place.
Those two movies
Fantastic.
were creepy.
I saw the first one in the theater, and it was so quiet, obviously.
I know you just hear these creatures like
But then
making click noises.
The guy next to me was like unwrapping his candy at the same time as like the most intense part of the movie was happening. So like it's so quiet and there's like, and I was like, bro, please, could you not have gotten a quieter snack? Like, come on, we're watching A Quiet Place. You gotta be quiet in this place.
I like that movie a lot. It's definitely one of my favorite.
I
like,
love
horror
the
kind
like
of.
the creatures in that. I'm a huge like.
It's
creature.
because those creatures are actually super creepy.
Mm-hmm. The way they like click, they like
When she stepped on the nail,
ah.
I lost it. I was like,
me
she's
too.
dead. I was like, there's no way she's gonna live.
I
past
hate stuff like that.
And she was pregnant and having a baby right after.
She already
So
had
it's
the baby,
like-
didn't she?
Did she have a baby before?
She had the baby before, and they're taking
and
care
then
of
stepped
it.
on the nail.
Yeah, they're just walking
right,
down the
that's right.
stairs, and the nail was there, and she like
Bruh, and then the old, it pissed me off. The old man was like, ah.
he just
It's like
goes. in.
R.I.P.
John Krasinski just runs in and dies.
John Krasinski.
What made me mad was like the very beginning when they gave the kid like the batteries to put in the toy. I was like,
don't press the
"You're dumb.
button, little kid."
Watch out. Watch your kids."
He said, "Ooh, toy," and you're gonna get murdered by this big alien creature.
Who just comes in and dead.
Literally, it just be a cutscene. They're dead.
That should
It's
be
literally-
the whole movie. It's just the first scene, but it just kills all of them. Because that's how it would go in real life. They would just be dead.
Bruh. They
But-
die so fast. And
Yeah.
my thing is, like, there's so many of them that, like, at first I was like, wait, is it like one of them? And it's just finding. I was
I
like, is
thought
it
that too.
teleporting and finding them?
Or like
that
it's just
fast?
really fast.
But I was like, wait a second, no,
No,
it's multiple.
It is multiple, yeah.
And I think this is spoilers, but the second movie, they were trying to swim, and it looked like they might learn how to swim. And I was like,
Like,
oh no!
There's nowhere they can go.
I was like, there's nowhere they can go. They can't go to that island because it's like once they figure out how to swim,
It's all over.
R.I.P. But the younger girl who played in that movie is actually deaf in
I
real life.
remember reading that. I was like, oh, that's awesome. She was a good actor.
Oh, what's another movie? I don't remember what it's called, but it's where they have to basically they can't look at the sun or the light outside because
Bird Box?
Yes,
That
Bird
movie's
Box.
trash.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, don't watch. It's not worth it. It's not good. Machine Gun Kelly's in that movie too.
I feel like that's just a lazy way to make a horror film.
Yeah. It was.
Let's let it be the light when you look at it. That's stupid.
There's also like, spoiler alert for this next movie I'm about to talk about. Signs. Have you seen Signs? You know M. Night Shyamalan.
No.
You don't know who M. Night Shyamalan? He's like the guy who makes all the twist endings. He did what's that one he did? Sixth Sense. He did Signs. He did The Village. So he did Signs, which is an alien movie.
I feel like this podcast is just you telling me about things I don't know
Bro,
about.
I don't know how you haven't seen any of his movies. He's so like popular. He did Unbreakable with Bruce Willis, Glass with what's his name? Samuel L. Jackson.
I don't know any of those movies.
Unbreakable is like this guy who has like a superpower. If he like touches someone, he can see like their future, and he's like
That's crazy.
indestructible and can't die. So he like gets into a train wreck, and he's the only survivor of this train. And the villain is this guy who's gonna like blow up a place or something, but he's like the weakest man alive. He's in like a wheelchair, and his bones are brittle. And he's like, if I fall down this flight of stairs, all my bones will break and I'll die.
What?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So, and then there's like, of course, in M. Night Shyamalan fashion, there's a twist ending at the end. But in Signs, I'm going to spoil it for you.
You spoiled a lot of movies for me.
Yeah.
But that's
So,
okay.
Spoiler alert, you can skip ahead if you don't want to be spoiled by the movie Signs. It came out in the 90s, so I feel like if you haven't seen it, you should. But the aliens, they figure out how to defeat the aliens. And do you know what their method is? Just throw some water on them.
Like witches?
They just throw some water on them. Their skin starts to melt. And they're like, well, we figured that out. It's like, okay, how is that a twist? Just throw some water on it.
The twist is they were too stupid to figure it out the whole time.
That's what I think. He also made a movie called The Village, which, if you're going to watch that movie, do not watch the trailer. It's the worst trailer ever made. The trailer makes it look like a horror movie, and then it's so scary. It's not a horror movie, and it's not scary. It's about this village that's just isolated from everyone in the world. And there's one person, I think, who is... I know there's a character who is deaf, I think. And they're like trying to escape the village to get help from these like creatures who are killing people. And I don't want to spoil it for you because you actually have to watch that movie. Because
You just have to make me a large list of movies, and I just
So,
need to watch it.
also there's this app that I have on my phone called Q, like a line, Queue, like the Q. And it basically, you can take a list from like your notes app if you have a list of movies you want to watch, and you put in what streaming services you have, and it'll show you where you can watch all of them, and you can rate your movies and stuff
We
like
gotta
that.
do that.
It does it
sure.
for TV shows, anime, like anything like that. And I have mine, and I have a bunch of movies on there that are upcoming. It'll tell you if it's in the theater. It'll tell you if it's like on Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV, HBO, any of those services.
I need to make a list of things for you to watch.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't know if you watch anime a lot.
I have
Or
watched
into
a
it.
lot of anime, but I haven't watched a lot recently.
Yeah, there are new animes you should watch that are really good.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be it
We
for
got-
this episode.
Almost an hour, so it'll be a little less when we trim out a
Yeah.
couple of things. But happy Halloween, guys. Sorry we couldn't wear the beards the whole time.
No, because
They were
trash. Course is cat hair.
Yeah. I think that for actual Halloween, I could just dye my beard white and it would give the same effect. I thought about
It
getting
would
one of
probably look
those
better.
temporary spray
on.
colors and
Just
just
wash it
spray
out.
my beard white. Yeah,
Be a gnome.
I'll be a gnome. All right, guys. See you next week.
Peace.